Just like to hear your thoughts on where our goals should be. What's the results we need to see in Afghanistan and Iraq?
That's a very good question. We have committed men and women to the theater in Afghanistan and Iraq. Now that we've done that, what we need to do is complete the mission, and that means leaving the country in a stable form, stable for democracy and functioning. And we can't put an arbitrary time limit on it, like the president would want to do. We need to set benchmarks as far as what we're going to accomplish with those people. We're seeing right now the people of Iraq voting, and over the weekend facing hostility, and in some cases actually their own lives at stake to exercise their right to participate in a democracy. And so I think what we did finally, and it was late in coming, but with the surge and all, we were able to stabilize the situation in Iraq, help to put them on a path of stability that we need to make sure that they are able to sustain after we're gone. Same thing with Afghanistan. Now, our president waited for months before taking the recommendations of the generals on the field to try to get the job done. And he's taken his eye off the ball in both of these initiatives. They are very important areas for us. And that last thing I would say to you, sir, is that we need, as a national policy, to let the world know what even John F. Kennedy said in his inaugural address, that the world should know that we as Americans will stand for freedom and democracy and protect our national interests, and we'll do it alone if we have to. We'll do it alone with Iran, North Korea. We will try to bring other countries to us, but no country should doubt our resolve. If we need to intervene to stabilize our situation, protect our interests, we'll do that. And being the largest and the only superpower in the world remaining, there is an obligation. So let's honor the people who've committed themselves in Afghanistan and Iraq, but making sure we leave them in a stable, democratic environment. And let's get the job done, not because of some arbitrary time frame, but because we've achieved the objective now of stability.
Kelly?
Well, I guess I would lead for, my husband served in the Iraq War, and one of the things I think we can't lose sight of is that we have our military men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places in the world. And when we send them there, we have to give them the support that they need in theater, the best equipment, enough backup to accomplish the mission that we ask them to do. And I think we owe it to them for the sacrifices that they've made for us. And also when they come home, I think we also owe it to them to make sure that they have medical care and care that they need for mental health and other reasons, and their families. And that's, I think, a solemn duty that we owe. And here in New Hampshire, you know, we're one of the few states that doesn't have a full-service hospital for our veterans, and I think that's something that we should have here for those that serve us. I will add, with respect to Afghanistan, we do need to stabilize that area. We cannot forget that the terrorist camps that were in Afghanistan were those who committed the act of 9/11 against us, was an act of war against our country on our soil. And we cannot allow them to gain root again in that form so that they can commit acts of terrorism against us and our allies again around the world. Next door, in the area next door, is Pakistan, that is a nuclear power. That's another reason why we do need to stabilize that area. But we also need to appreciate that the government of Afghanistan, in asking them to stand up a democracy, we cannot sit by when there is corruption either. And in order to allow that government and that country to go forward, we do need to call out their leaders when they're corrupt, when they are not fostering ideals of democracy. And I think that has to be part of our strategy in Afghanistan as we go forward to stabilize that area.
Great, thank you.